Hey everyone, welcome back to Dark Souls 3. I'm psyched because I think we are in the home stretch. And by home stretch, I mean like when I'm beginning to record this. Might be the last night that I'm playing the game before at least I beat it the first time. I want to do some cleanup. I want to go explore what we've seen before. But maybe not quite yet. Let's do one thing first. Alright, so we've gone through Aldrich. The Profaned Capital. We made it to the giant. Didn't know what to do about it. So we know the path to this next boss, which I know, based on conversations with other people, that is not technically the last boss. It's close, which is why I argue that we're in the home stretch. But there are a couple things I want to do. I want to comb back through the Undead Settlement because it's a section of the game that I kind of rushed through the first time around because I was pretty low level. Sorry about that. Gross. So when I came back here last time, I fought the giant, but I don't know what I was doing. Because we died fast. And it suggested to me there was a See, so you only do 42. Which, that seems bad. Maybe if I have him take out all of these pillars? Does that do anything? Does that expose a weakness, my friend? Do you have a weakness? You have to have a weakness. Break this pillar. Break this pillar. Alright. That one down. One more to go. Two more to go. Visions of demise. That doesn't help me, brother. I don't know why I think this is gonna help. But maybe it might change the environment or something. Like something would fall on him. Huh. What if I shoot you in the butt? I mean, you could do this, right? You could totally just keep avoiding all of his hits. That just doesn't seem likely. What's the deal, brother man? Anything up here? Ow. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. Only a storm can fell a great wood. Coming in the back. Only a storm can fell a great wood. So now there was a great wood tree. Do I have any sort of storm item? Only a storm can fell a great wood. Well, there was that There was that instance when we went back to the great wood. Thinking we needed an item. Only a storm can fell a great wood. Let's look at these boss weapons. Anything related to a storm that I could... Hollow Slayer Greatsword. Magic. Spear.
Welcome home, speak. Ashen one. To be unkindled is to be a vessel. So I'm ashen. Farewell, Ashen One. May the flame.
Oh, knowest thou of that cordial in, and so thou then thy pockets will. Ashen One.
Anyone know anything about lies? That would be cool, though.
Tis, wasn't he? Oh, by the way, if you find they can, without doubt, and pretty be careful.
Feel like I'm missing a trick. But I'm just not quite...
Ah, yeah. Oh, Quailano, Witch of Isolet. I may be a heretic fiendish. Do stay safe.
What about you? Know anything about what's going on?
There is one, there is a dark. Whether the...
None of these NPCs seem like they're able to help me with the job at hand. A storm can fell a great wood.
Oh, champion, do you wish... You know, I would be terribly sorry.
A storm. So if you go back to the Pit of Hollows, which again we've been to before. Offer a better shackle. And I went back to that one NPC, the one that was towards the beginning of the game that was in the church. Is there a trick in the boss that I'm not realizing? Like something that you have to trigger within there? Huh. A storm can fell a great wood. But that's the Pit of Hollows is where you fight a great wood. The other thing I didn't check out as I try and mull this over. I never had a chance to meet up with the Onion Man. He's one of my favorite characters from Dark Souls 1. He briefly made an appearance, at least in my game, in Dark Souls 3. But I never ended up kind of following up on his query, which was back over here. Oh, it feels good to be high level. Did not even pay attention to the blood loss angle. It's always good to say it feels good to be a high level and then to immediately die. There's no reason even to fight any of those dudes anyway. I can just run right past. Hear ye, hear ye. Let me through, ye ye. That guy's not gonna give up, huh? Fine. Hi. Hawk ring. I have so many rings. Extends the range of bows. Huh. Well, problem solved, Mr. Onion Man. Didn't really change what I got going down, but hopefully that allows you to continue on your merry way. What? What is that? Never fought that guy before. I don't think I was even made it to that section. Where is that? Well, I guess that's how you could have gotten fired again earlier. A lot earlier than I found one. Hey, buddy. Okay, that's my bad. Yep. Nailed it. What? No, guess that's how you could have done it. Didn't have a bow and arrow. Anything else over here? This just seems like this was a demon stomping around, having fun. This connects with a shortcut that I'm not thinking of. Only one of them had to be alive. What? Get out of here. I want nothing to do with you. I'm always wary of all ambushes at all time from all comers. That's just my life. Oh, hello. Ow. Ow. Really? Really? Well, this goes to show. Never take anything for granted. Nothing exciting, just like a bunch of torture chambers, people locked up, you know, as things are wont to do. Or want to be, I suppose. Maybe it's slightly more accurate terminology. Oh. And then that loops us back around. Flynn's ring. Okay. We made it. Thornery ring. So many rings. Raises stamina recovery speed. Not bad. Oh, this is this spot over here. Filling out the gaps. That's what we're doing here at Souls. Well, with the exception of finding the Pyromancy NPC. Mostly gets me most of the way where I want it to be in this section. Yeah. Hear ya. I know. I guess I could have just used a homeward bone. But I always forget because they don't work for me half the time. But actually I'm going to have to take a quick break. So I have to go pick up my wife from the train. So I'll be back momentarily and we'll pick this up where we left off. We are going to head over to High Wall of Lothric. I think I figured out a little looking around about this NPC. I don't mind kind of getting some hints on little things. I'm very tempted to figure out what the trick is with the giant. I don't know what it is. I got a hint from Austin Walker, the giant bomb, that said, did you play Demon Souls? And I said yes. And he said, oh, that should give you a hint. And I was like, what is that? What? Is that a... What do you mean that's a hint? So I still don't know what that means. But I think the NPC is down here. Maybe it's not. It's around here somewhere. Who wants some? I've got these sweet. What's up, buddy? Where's that sweet baby? It's probably unnecessary. Down here? Oh, it's in one of the buildings. It's been a long time since I've been around here. Maybe it's further down here. Lift chamber key. Where does this take you? Okay. This is new. Red Eye Orb. Online play item. Invade other worlds at will. Defeat the host of embers of the world you have invaded to gain the strength of fire. Okay. This was probably a really tough fight if you did it at the time that you're supposed to at the beginning of the game. Instead, I got my Pope hat on, got my Hollow on, and instead I just kind of wrecked them. What? No? Oh, here he is. Alright, I didn't get the key. I know where the key is, though. Too bad I really can't get through here. I'm trying to, you know, approach this as though, well, this will just give me time to think through what exactly I need to do with that giant. As if, like, that's going to make the difference. Then suddenly it's all going to make sense for me. Yes, that's my problem. I'm shocked that the game didn't do more with the transforming enemies. You know, it was something that came up early here. And I thought it was going to be like a huge part of this game. Like, it was just going to be you constantly having to be surprised by enemies that seem normal and then do something completely unexpected. But that really didn't happen. You know, that was one part of the game, but hardly the standard. So, he is down here. Boop. That was a pretty good shot, if I do say so myself. And I do, because I'm allowed to say so myself. This was terrifying at the beginning of the game. Any number one of these enemies could just demolish me. This is, of course, like part of the fun of coming back to old areas. The game doesn't scale enemies with you. I don't think this was an area I ever spent a significant amount of time in, because I was always terrified that I was going to be killed. Missed an early Estus shard. Alright, sell a key, Estus shard. Poof. Pays to discover. That was terrible. I'm sorry. I quit. I quit video games. I'm leaving. No longer to be a part of it. Alright, let's go meet that NPC. And that clears out pretty much everything that I can think of that I would want to mess around with. Oh, that's not an item, that's just the enemy. I mean, it is, but it's when the enemy dropped as opposed to being... something in the environment that might be worthwhile. So let's get my Estus shards up to 10? I think that's where it'll leave me. Surprised we didn't run into more dragons. Thought that may be more of a thing. Again, you know, there's still surprises potentially to be had in the waning hours of Dark Souls 3. Right? So I managed to, clear up that bit for Onion Buddy, but one thing that Dark Souls does is NPCs will they progress with the story as you progress through.
No, you're from far away. You must remarkable. Below the hide, not the home of an old woman. Please, I'm not asking for charity. I'll be short. I may be a bit. What do you say? Very well. I am Grey Rat. Give this ring to do your part.
Where's Loretta? I have Loretta's bone. Oh, so this is like a whole quest line. Right? Like I have an item that is literally a... So I guess you'd have to find him. Maybe he's back in my area. Use it. Use it. Use it. Use it. Use it. Use it. You're the worst, Dark Souls. Yeah, I'm aware that I probably can't use it when I'm climbing a ladder. Can't use it ever. Oh, there's a bonfire up here. Alright, well that wasn't as interesting as I thought it might be. Let's see if he's here, though. Maybe he's back here.
Just wasn't he?
Okay. Not there. Aha, he did come back.
Oh, hello, and in one piece. Whatever trick just taught us. Heavens, thank you. Almost ready. You can keep as... You can keep as...
I guess this is where you would have bought throwing knives early on.
Goodbye. Oh, this place is a bore.
Well, that sets us up for the thing I'm avoiding, which is going back to the giant. And figuring out what you're supposed to do. Huh. It can't be an ember. I guess it could be an ember. What would an ember have to do with anything? I don't know how that would change if you've got that big flaming cup. That's gonna make a difference. Patrick. What's the trick? What's up with this giant? Not anything over there with that giant fishbowl, is it? Maybe it's worth double checking that. Get caught in that animation, buddy. Not my problem. Stop it. Right? This doesn't do anything. Can't interact with it. Can't, like, turn it over and have it go tumbling towards the enemy. Had him take out all of the pillars around him, so it's not like that like brought something down and weakened him. See anything in the environment? Obvious thing am I missing? It's not as though you could, did you hit his sword? No. Hit him. Like, you could totally do this. It doesn't make any sense. I feel like I'm missing something. Can fell a great wood. What if I just knock over all of this stuff? I wonder if I should ask someone for a hint. Couldn't be casting magic. Not everyone casts magic. I fought all the other enemies, bosses. You could de-hollow, but that doesn't actually mechanically change anything. It just makes your character look pretty again. Huh. Alright, I'm gonna ask someone for a hint. Okay, I'll be right back. Alright, okay, we're back, and so I was hinted to look at your inventory. So I started looking at my inventory, and I found something called Storm Ruler. And there was that hint on the throne that said, the storm, a great wood can only be felled by a storm or whatever it was. So, my guess is this is what's going down. So let's give this another shot. Probably could go ahead and switch my Estus flasks up if this gets real thorny, but what I'm gonna hope is that I'll be able to just take care of business. I must have picked up that item in an earlier episode and just not even made any note of it. I do remember there being an item, but I don't remember the that little hint being there. What? This isn't doing that much damage. I'm also doing a very poor job of dodging. What am I missing here? I equipped the right one? Yeah, Storm Ruler. Oh. Whoops. Skill. Assume stance to imbue sword with storm. Most effective when facing giants. Oh. Oh. Okay. Well. That helps. Alright. Got it. I now have Storm enabled. Storm turned on. So I can do this. And those kind of do the same thing. So my guess is that imbues me with the ability to do real damage against the boss. And then I can also pull off these more powerful attacks if I choose. Alright, buddy. Let's actually do this. Wait, what? Oh. Okay. Gotcha. It's actually a little bit similar to a boss from Demon Souls. In which the boss becomes trivial once you find a secret weapon. That should do it. No. There's just one more though. Yep. Bye, Yhorm the Giant. It was nice knowing you, except for the part where it was not nice knowing you, and I'm very thankful that you're gone.
Lothric is in your hands.
Not gonna let me use that last bonfire, huh?
Please save his soul.
Prince Lothric, coming for you. Am I? Am I coming for Prince Lothric? Is that the big baddie? I feel stupid for not having picked up on it sooner. Okay, I don't want to actually trigger whatever that is, because I have a feeling that is going to result in a boss. In fact, I think that's finally going to have you facing the boss from the beta, and one they've shown multiple times while showing the game early. It's the dancing fairy or whatever. I managed to beat that boss in the beta, but I don't know if that necessarily means anything for my success here. So let's go level up, and that's going to bring us to the end of this episode. But we'll be ready to sally forth into the beyond. Go ahead and use up all these. What are we looking at in terms of leveling up? 27. So maybe we should just kind of sit on the others. But that's going to do it. Thanks, everyone, for watching. We'll be back next as we move forward and fight, I think, another boss pretty much right away. See ya. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. There's tons of other stuff around here. You might have watched me die at Mario. You might have watched me scream at horror games. You might have watched me react to trailers with my wife. You might have watched me share some of the coolest video games out there you've never heard of. There's lots going on the site. YouTube, so that means what? You have to like, you have to comment, you have to subscribe. All those things help the channel. All those things help me, and I really appreciate it if you become part of the community over here. Thanks so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in another one.